Hello, welcome everyone. My name's Kodandi, and I have a really great topic for you today. I'm so excited about this. Someone commented on one of my videos, Anna. She left this comment. Hello, I really enjoy your videos. I have a question related to the third eye. Do you see beautiful swirling colors on the third eye during meditation, or when you close your eyes in nature or listen to some peaceful music? I see a black hole with a beautiful indigo, violet, and neon green swirling around that black hole. Do you have any similar experiences? And what do you think about this? Is it good? How do you really know when your third eye is open? Are you able to just see? Just like through your eyes? I'm really confused what I'm supposed to see. Thank you so much. So, thank you so much for sending in this question. This is a very, very good question that we as a spiritual community don't talk about enough. So where to begin? So I've been able to see spirits and speak to spirits since I was a child, before I had any sort of formal third eye awakening. Starting from when I was a teenager, I was astral traveling and astral journeying. I started reading tarot cards. So I started using a lot of these abilities long before I had a formal third eye awakening initiation, and long before I had a Kundalini awakening as well. All I can figure is that these are abilities that I had in a past life that I was able to manifest in this life as well. And, growing up with this and having all of these years, like I'm 36 now, so I have 36 years of seeing and speaking to spirits and some of these other abilities. And in that time, what I learned about, psychic abilities in general and, empathic, intuitive abilities in general is that, one, it's not like in the movies. It's not like how you imagine it to be. So, a lot of people have these experiences and don't realize what it is because they don't expect it to be like that. So, and even when I was at the Adinam and talking to people about, I'm getting all this information and stuff, they expect that I'm seeing it like a movie. Like it's a thing and I'm watching a movie. It's sometimes like that, but generally not. So there are many, many ways of seeing and many, many ways of knowing. And in English, we have a lot of words for this, like clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, things like that. There's some more. I don't remember them all. But there are many, many ways of knowing and many ways of experiencing this, especially when it's first starting and you're first learning. Once you get really experienced and get powerful, you can see in multiple different ways. That's been my experience anyway, and see with more detail. But yeah, so just, it's never what you think it is. And it's also very unique to the individual. So one of the things that I experience when I'm seeing spirits is that I will be looking at something, and my eyes don't register anything as there. Like my physical eyes do not register anything as being there. But in my brain, there's an inner eye that is telling me that it is seeing there is a figure standing there, and sometimes I get some details, sometimes I don't. That has been the kind of most common experience of me seeing spirits, and it's still pretty much like that. I see them more often now with the third eye awakening, but that is sort of the most common experience, where I'm seeing with an inner eye, and I'm seeing or hearing with an inner ear, or I have just sort of a sense of knowing, or I'll get like that sort of internal thinking voice that we have, where all of a sudden I'll just sort of get some weird random information out of nowhere that was, not a part of what I was thinking. So those are sort of like the clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience sort of experiences. Now, another thing, people that are very like intuitive and empathic will sometimes get weird sensations and weird responses to vibrational energy. And I see this a lot with people that are sensitive to spirits but don't realize that's what they're seeing. And I remember so clearly one woman, like, we were traveling and she was part of the group I was traveling with, and one of the places they booked us happened to be haunted. And I was having like very intense experiences and seeing things, and like I was really aware of the haunting. She was just sort of randomly freaking out, where she didn't feel comfortable and she felt like her skin was crawling, and she, was just kind of generally freaking out, feeling uneasy, feeling uncomfortable. And I immediately recognized in her that she was sensing this energy of these spirits without realizing it. That she was seeing them and experiencing them, and she had no idea, which is why she was just sort of generically freaking out about it and being really scared and really uneasy and being really jumpy. And that is another common experience that seems to happen. So when we talk specifically about the third eye, so I myself do not see beautiful swirling colors, black hole, beautiful indigo, violet, neon green swirling around. That's not something that I personally experience, but if you are experiencing it, then, your experience is your experience. Like, who am I to tell you that you're wrong? I don't know, I'm not in your head. Obviously, you're experiencing something. Something's going on. I really, I don't know, I don't, when I close my eyes, I don't just get third eye visions. I have to, kind of shift myself into the right space for it. And I have been starting to get more of the kind of, movie vision kinds of things, or when I'm remote viewing, I feel like I'm in the place, but I'm a Second Life person, where I have to okay, turn to the left, look at that, okay, really very kind of consciously control my movements. It's not very natural. It feels like, some sort of video game where it's like, okay, move the thing, so that I move left, or my vision moves left, or whatever. And a lot of times I don't get visuals at all, or the visuals that I get are very subtle. Where to begin? When I'm doing third eye readings, especially doing body scans, I get visuals, and it's I can kind of zoom in on the body and go through individual, strands of muscle cells and things like that. When I'm doing the mind reading and looking into what your patterns and blockages are, I do often get little clips of movies where I'm seeing things, but mostly it's sort of like a story is being told to me, and information is being given to me more than I'm seeing anything. And when I'm doing reading, when I'm doing the third eye reading, and when I'm doing the third eye walking, so these are the ones that are most you see through your third eye as if you were seeing through your regular two eyes. And the kids at the Adina that are, really good at this have that experience where they close their eyes and they can still see clearly through their third eye. I am still working on getting to that point. But when I was learning to walk blindfolded, seeing with my third eye, it took me a while to kind of figure that out. And so what I had to do was sort of stop using the part of my brain that uses the two eyes. So I felt like I had to dunk myself underwater so that the two eyes were underwater and the third eye was above water. To kind of do that, to kind of shut down that part of the brain that sees with two eyes and let, the non-mechanical parts of the brain that see with the third eye, focus on those. And when I did that, I started noticing that I was getting this sort of feeling that would come up on, either side of me. And I realized when I had that kind of feeling, like, a very slight kind of pressure, that I had to move left or right, or that I had to move away from it. And that was, whatever people or things that were on my side. So if I felt something, I would take a step in the, direction away from it. Now, I also, when I got like that, it was still, sort of a blackness that I was seeing, but I would get like fuzzy kinds of things, kind of like, little, neon lights, like, that movie Tron or something, where it's all black except for these kind of neon lines. And so, something would come up and I would see it actually in reverse, okay? So the floor would be on top, the ceiling would be on bottom in my vision. And so I would come up and I would see, like there was a thing on the floor. I saw it was there. I stopped and I kind of navigated around it. But it was just like kind of a gray fuzz in a black background. It was, with a little bit of like neon sparkling around the edges. It wasn't very clear. But that was my experience of that. Now, when I'm doing the third eye reading, I'm not at a point where I'm actually seeing the letters yet. They're just sort of coming to me through, a knowing, a sense of knowing. And actually right now I'm practicing with playing cards. So, because they have the suits and the pictures on them, I'll get, a sense of the picture as well. So, yeah, that is my experience of seeing through the third eye, where sometimes you actually see things, and sometimes you just get, kind of a sense of knowing, more of a clairsentient sort of experience. If you are seeing swirling lights and colors, like, that is your experience. Who am I to tell you it's wrong? And how do you really know when your third eye is open? You know when your third eye is open when you are, very clearly and reliably manifesting the abilities of the third eye. And I don't even know what all of them are. But, some people have like little bit of opening, some more or less. One of the main things that I've found, so kind of the main blockage, is this doubt and this not knowing, right? Like, here you are, Anna, asking this question to me, saying, I'm seeing this, that, and whatever, and asking me all these questions, like, what am I supposed to see? Is this what I'm, is this, do you have similar experiences? Is it good? It doesn't matter if I have similar experiences or if I see anything like you. It's about not doubting yourself. And even as someone that was seeing spirits and having experiences since I was a child, that it wasn't until I was in my 30s, and the first time I did the Inner Awakening program when it was offered at the LA Temple on 2A video conferencing, where we worked on self-doubt. And it was like I really doubted myself and I really doubted my abilities, and I constantly questioned my sanity because there was a lot of, mental illness, people with mental illness in my life, and people, accusations of mental illness and misunderstandings about mental illness in my life. I was doubting myself because I thought I might be, what if I am mentally ill? What if I am delusional? What if I am hallucinating? And so I didn't share my experiences because I doubted myself and I was afraid to. And I didn't really know if they were real or true because I didn't know other people that had these same experiences as me. That was the thing. Like, nobody that I knew, even people that had abilities, nobody that I knew experienced it quite like I did. And so I didn't really believe in it. I believed enough to continue to, look at it and use it, but I didn't believe enough to, really, truly, deeply believe that I was capable of these things. And you really just need to work on your self-doubt and believe in your own perception, believe in your own experience, that, there is no checklist of what are you supposed to see and what is it supposed to look like. Like there's a very large sort of cloud bubble of experiences that people have and way that people see and ways that people know. I mean, when you talk about astral traveling, people describe, when they're astral traveling, sometimes they only have an infinitely small pinprick vision, or they'll feel like they're watching themselves, like having this sort of third person outsider point of view, watching themselves going through astral traveling. I mean, there's just such a huge variety of ways to know. So if you are seeing a black hole with swirling colors, you have to decide for yourself if that is a third eye awakening, and if you, really truly believe that in what you are experiencing, or if you are doubting your experience. And so I hope you don't doubt yourself. I hope you believe in what you're doing. If any viewer is, having self-doubt or doubting themselves or their experience, I'm more than happy to work with you one-on-one with that issue. It's something that I had to get over myself. You have to really just believe in yourself and believe in what you're seeing. I mean, there's nothing you're supposed to see or not supposed to see. The third eye is an opening to the cosmos. Okay, so you are seeing what you are supposed to be seeing. You are seeing what the cosmos wants you to see. That, I can go and get third eye readings from a dozen different people, and they will all see something different, but they will all see exactly something that's real and accurate and true. And, the universe is huge. The universe is really huge. And even if you're talking about one person and one, third eye reading on one person, that, when a dozen people do that, they're each going to see different facets, different aspects, different things. Even one person is a huge, infinite source of things to see and talk about. So there's really just kind of no limit on what you could see, and you could just see so many different things, and it's still right and true and accurate. So, I hope that answers your questions. Let me see, did I cover everything? Yeah, I mean, just don't feel confused. Just believe in yourself, really. Just believe. And, it wasn't until I went and joined as an Adinavasi and started, living and working with my guru, Paramahamsa Nithyananda, that I received the full third eye awakening initiation. That, previously I was able to manifest some of the abilities, but not fully and completely. And just being in that space, just being in his presence, immediately opened it up. Before I even went up for the initiation from him, where he puts his, finger on your third eye to open it up. Before I even went up, in the, there's a meditation period that we have, and it was that day, it was a really, really long meditation. It was an hour or something in meditation. And it was during that time that I started having all these visions and stuff happening. I started, seeing remotely and all of these things before, just in the meditation before even going up for the exact initiation. So yeah, definitely just be open. Just be open and don't doubt yourself. If you want help or coaching or anything, or if you want to know more about, meeting the guru and having this initiation, check out the description. Everything is there. Okay, Nithyanandam, everyone.